So you didn't like my last video. Well, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about all the story flaws in none other than Avatar: The Way of Water. So if you haven't caught on yet, there will be spoilers ahead, but if you like what you see in this video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Alright, y'all. Enjoy. Avatar: The Way of Water is a film that is 3 hours and 12 minutes long and is filled with plots that don't go anywhere, or a main character that's barely in the film. So at the very beginning of a film, we get a recap of how the original film ended and what's happened since the humans have returned to Pandora. Jake and Neytiri have settled down and had 3 kids while also adopting 2 children. One of the children's name is Spider, the son of the villain, Colonel Quaritch, which is now back through the practice of science. And the other adopted child is the daughter of Grace Augustine. How does a dead Na'vi woman have a child? Well, through the power of Eywa, of course. But instead of the film explaining any of it, it continues with the only logical explanation of there being no explanation. The writer instead decides to make this a joking point through the first act of the film, where other children say that Norm, the other scientist from the first film, must have gotten the brain-dead Na'vi Grace pregnant. Anyway, back to the recap. Jake and Neytiri have a date night where they go stargazing, but instead of it being romantical and peaceful, they see a new star in space. What does that mean, Jake? Oh, right. It's the sky people who immediately start scorching the planet the moment they arrive. What happens next? Nothing. The screen cuts to black and states, 1 year later. Wait, so how long has it actually been? I don't know. So why say 1 year later? Moving on. Jake is leading a rebellion for the Na'vi over the last couple years, serving his people as Toruk Makto, the clan chieftain, being the front lines of the Na'vi rebellion. And his tribe are currently raiding a Sky People supply train, which they take down with absolute ease. However, his sons Neteyam and Loak break the chain of command and abandon their posts as lookouts. Their decision only costs a few of the Na'vi rebellion lives, because the Sky People's glass on their gunships still break to Na'vi arrows 30 years since they've been on the planet. Anyway, Jake grounds both of his sons, which doesn't really matter because in about 10 minutes, Loak, the same son as before, that got rebellion lives lost, now gets Jake and Neytiri's children kidnapped while disobeying his father again. They go to rescue their kids, but run into none other than the resurrected Colonel Quaritch and the band of the Nameless Na'vi. They take most of them down with ease and force Quaritch to retreat. However, big shocker, he kidnaps his son Spider. Jake's solution to all of this is to go into hiding to protect his family. No, that's not right. He goes into hiding with his family, because he feels that Spider could give up where they are. Though in hindsight, the villain never finds out where they are, because he sees how loyal his son is and won't ask. Moving on, while the Sully family are traveling to the Sea Na'vi clan, Quaritch lets his son guide him through the lessons to becoming Na'vi, where Spider tells him Jake rode a dragon, so he has to too. After Quaritch rides the dragon with success, the plot point dies. Didn't Jake do more to become Na'vi? I guess not. The Sully family makes it to the Sea People, where they are told, in order to stay, you must ride a sea lion this time, not a dragon. They agree, but not without conflict between Jake's sons and Tanari's sons. Also, Tanari's daughter is immediately in love with Loak, and yes, this is as far as it goes. Loak decides to defend his sister from the other boys, but also decides to break another order from his dad and fight all of them, making Dad angry and telling him to apologize. Loak goes to apologize, but the boys decide to trick him and leave him for dead, but don't worry, the whale saves him. Jake and Tanari want to know the truth about what happened to Loak, but Loak decides to lie to both the fathers and gets in trouble again by Jake, covering for Tanari's son that left him behind. What has Kiri and Colonel Quaritch been up to? Kiri hooks up to the sea tree, finds Grace, and then she asks who's her daddy, has a seizure, and goes into a coma. Jake calls Norm to help her at SeaWorld, and he flies over in a human helicopter just to be turned around by Ronal because she is the SeaWorld's healer. Kiri then gets revived. Quaritch picks up the GPS location of the military vehicle and tracks its trajectory to SeaWorld. He then starts being hostile to Na'vi Sea members. Wait, so Quaritch can track old military tech? Yeah. Why didn't he just track down all the scientists and hold them hostage and barter for Jake? Good point. Moving on. Korch hunts whales and starts using them to push the Sea People's tribe to reveal themselves along with Jake. We're also told that gland fluid in the whale's brain gifts de-aging. That and the Earth is dying. Jake tells the tribe he knows it's hard, but it's a trap. We cannot attack them. He then states to tell the whales to run or they will die. Loak wants to tell his whale to run, but Dad says no. Loak does anyway, and his siblings follow him. What do you know? His whale is being tracked for death, which means the entire tribe rushes to save them. Korch captures some of the kids to trade Jake for, but the whale soils his plan and kills many soldiers. The tribe attacks with Jake to where the Sky People's forces are limited. Spider finds Loak and Atam, and they fight his captors where Loak shoots an enemy and a bullet ricochets into his brother, killing him. All the original kids that escaped are safe, but now all the original safe kids are being held hostage by Korch. Korch has Kiri's life on his line, so Neytiri puts Spider's life in her hands. Korch backs down. Wait, why would she do that to Spider, her adopted son? Well, she's racist. Anyway, Korch continues to threaten Jake as he is trying to run away to where they begin fighting on the sinking ship they've been on for 6 hours. Are you sure it's still sinking? Yes. Jake wins, but swims into the boat instead of away, where he is found by Loak. Loak teaches him how to breathe and saves him. Meanwhile, Spider also saves Korch for some unlogical reason, and swims back to his Na'vi family where Kiri and him reunite, but leading him to a moral dilemma. Jake and Neytiri bury their oldest son and see him in Pandora Heaven to then talk to the tribe's leaders, and ends with him staying at SeaWorld and making his stand. Where did the tribe go in the final fight? What? Where did the tribe go in the final fight? Who are they? Okay, so what'd you think? Well, the visuals are great. Most of the characters are great. You got a good cast, and acting was solid, but is Korch going to change sides and become a Na'vi member? Or is Spider going to change sides and become part of the Sky People? Also, are Kiri and Spider in love? Or is that just forgotten about? Oh, and is Kiri a gift from Eywa? Or is she just immaculately conceived? Well, the answer to that is, well, I hope you're excited for the third one.